What would you do if the one person you trusted more than life itself was the same person slowly poisoning your soul? I never thought I'd be the man sitting in a dimly lit parking garage on North Clark Street in Chicago. The glow of my phone, a harsh spotlight on a single, gut-wrenching text message. It wasn't from my wife, Sarah. It was to her. The words burned into my memory. Can't stop thinking about last night. You're intoxicating. The sender was a man I'd shaken hands with at our company's sterile holiday party just a month before Mark. A smirking sales director with 2 white teeth and a cheap suit. This wasn't the first time. I had forgiven her once, a year ago, after a tearful confession and a mountain of promises she swore to keep. I had chosen to believe her, to rebuild the life we had. But seeing that message, I realized my forgiveness wasn't a foundation for a new beginning. It was her permission to do it all again, only this time, she was better at hiding it. A cold, terrifying clarity washed over me. This wasn't a time for heartbreak, it was a time for war. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel. Tell us where you're from. And what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. The strange behavior had started subtly. Late nights at the office became more frequent. Her phone, once left carelessly on the kitchen counter, was now her constant companion, always screened down. When I'd ask about her day, the answers were vague, clipped, and coated in a layer of irritation, as if my questions were an inconvenience. She grew cold, manipulative. "You're being paranoid, you know that?" she'd say, her voice dripping with manufactured pity. "After everything we've been through. I can't believe you don't trust me." She was a master of turning my own pain against me, making me feel like the villain for even suspecting. The woman I loved was gone, replaced by this arrogant stranger who felt untouchable. One night I came home early, hoping to surprise her. I found her in the living room, on the phone, her back to me. Her voice was different, soft, breathy, a tone I hadn't heard in years. "I miss you too," she whispered, and then she laughed, a light, carefree sound that shattered my heart into a million pieces. She saw my reflection in the dark window, and her face instantly hardened. "It's just my sister," she snapped, ending the call. The lie was so blatant, so insulting. That was the night I broke. I went into the bathroom, locked the door, and slid to the floor. The cold tile, a shock to my system. I didn't make a sound. The sobs were silent, racking my body in a storm of grief and humiliation. In that moment, the loyal, loving husband died, and a cold, strategic man began to take his place. My revenge started with a single, secret purchase, a high-end voice-activated recorder, small enough to disappear into the upholstery of her car. I began gathering proof with a chilling sense of purpose. I created a spreadsheet documenting every late night, every suspicious credit card charged the hotel bar in River North, the expensive dinners I wasn't invited to. I used a software to recover deleted texts from our shared cloud account. The conversations were sickeningly cliché, filled with stolen moments and cheap promises. They were planning a future, a life built on the ashes of mine. I set my legal traps with the precision of a surgeon. I consulted a divorce attorney, one of the best and most ruthless in Chicago, paying him a retainer in cash. We quietly moved all our joint assets into accounts that would be frozen the moment I filed. I took out a loan against our house, the house my inheritance had paid for, and secured the funds in a private trust. The final act was set for our anniversary. Sarah, in her infinite arrogance, had planned a large party at a swanky downtown restaurant, inviting all our friends, family, and colleagues, including Mark. She wanted to play the part of the perfect wife one last time. As our guests mingled, I stood up to make a toast. I started by talking about love, trust, and second chances. Sarah beamed, squeezing my hand. Mark looked on, smug and self-satisfied. Then my tone shifted. "I believe in forgiveness," I said, my voice steady. "But I also believe in consequences." I looked directly at Sarah. "For instance, when you tell your husband you're at a marketing conference in Miami, but you're actually at the Thompson Hotel with your lover." A gasp rippled through the room. I then played the recording from her car. Her voice, intertwined with his, filled the stunned silence. The graphic details of their affair, their mockery of me, echoed off the walls. Sarah's face went from shock to ashen white. Mark looked like a cornered animal. I wasn't finished. I gestured to a man at the back of the room. And this is Mr. Henderson, the head of HR from your company, who I'm sure will be interested to know about your violation of the company's code of conduct. I then dropped a thick file on the table in front of Sarah. And those, I said, my voice dropping to a whisper, are the divorce papers. Our accounts are frozen. The house is in foreclosure. You'll get nothing. The ruin was absolute, a public execution of her life. She was fired. Her friends and family turned their backs on her. The legal battle was swift and brutal. She was left with nothing but her shame. I never saw her again after the final court date. Sometimes, late at night, I walk through the empty rooms of the house I sold. It's quiet now. The silence is a heavy blanket, a constant reminder that some betrayals don't just break your heart. They burn down everything you ever were. The end.